clinics and Planned Parenthood in the world today are as detrimental as the mafia giving our children cocaine freely and telling them it is good for you.
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
We begin with the weather. Hurricane Gloria may turn out to be one for the history books. Hurricanes are rated on a scale of 1 to 5, the most dangerous level being 5. Gloria is currently being rated as a borderline 5, and it is heading for the East Coast. A hurricane watch has been posted from the Carolinas to Virginia, but there is cause for concern all the way up the East Coast into New England. Joining us live now from the National Hurricane Center in Coral Gables, Florida, is the center's director, Dr. Neil Frank. Neil, give us a quick update, would you?
Okay, two things have happened tonight that I think are very interesting. Number one, the winds have decreased some, so the winds are not 150 miles an hour anymore. They're back down to 130 miles an hour. It's still a very serious hurricane. It's one that we're going to have to deal with very seriously, and the people that are in the path of it are going to have to take it, respond very effectively. Now, the second thing that's happened is the storm continues to move on this northwest track. We anticipate it's eventually going to turn to the north, but that's been delayed. Now, this delay means that the increase in the threat is down in the Carolinas, and we may well have to post hurricane warnings along portions of the watch area, maybe as early as 6 o'clock, and we're telling folks tonight that live on the little islands out there to be ready to move quickly tomorrow morning. Now, it also means that the threat to New England of a serious hurricane has diminished considerably, and certainly if the hurricane moves inland down over the North Carolina coast, even if it does turn out to the northeast, you're not going to have a serious hurricane in New England.
All right. Neil, somewhere, and you are ubiquitous, you show up all over the place now, but somewhere I think I read you as saying something to the effect that even if the wind speed of the storm itself comes down, it may pick up speed in terms of the velocity of the storm, the way the storm is moving. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If you do, please explain it to the audience, because I'm sure they don't anymore.
Ted, what we're saying is the forward speed of the hurricane may accelerate, and that's what I think was going to happen. As the hurricane turns north, then it's going to pick up in its forward speed, and that's very common when the hurricane moves up towards the New England area. But the real key in New England tonight is if the center is going to stay out over the open water where it could maintain its strength, or whether it's going to move inland over the Carolinas and then move up in the inland areas where it'll be much weaker when it comes on up there and won't be a serious problem at all.
When you appeared on our air earlier this evening with Peter Jennings, you spoke in almost apocalyptical terms about this storm, that it could be a real disaster. You still feel that way about it?
Well, we're pleased to see the winds have decreased a little bit today, but still, 135-mile-an-hour storm, if it moves along that, moves over that North Carolina coast tomorrow morning, there's a lot of, or not tomorrow evening, there's a lot of beachfront buildings there, and you can still see an awful lot of destruction.
Incidentally, when you were talking about 6 o'clock tomorrow, you meant 6 o'clock tomorrow night as being
tomorrow night, exactly. Absolutely.
Okay, and the wind speed, not the wind speed, but the speed of the storm itself, the forward progress of the storm itself is still about 15 miles an hour?
Yeah, it's about 15 miles an hour, but as it turns and moves into the northeast, you know, it could be moving like 30, 40 miles an hour by the time it come on past the New England area.
How much peripheral effect does a storm like this have? In other words, if it hits in the Carolinas, how much are you going to feel above and below the storm?
Well, you're not going to see a lot to the south of the storm. You're still going to see some fairly strong winds right along the Capes, the Virginia Capes, and on up to the coastal areas of New Jersey and Maryland. But if the center stays inland, it's going to weaken a lot, and you're not going to see the 100-mile-an-hour winds like you might if the storm had stayed out over the open water. All
right, Neil Frank, you got a long night ahead of you, and I thank you very much, as always, for being with us and shedding so much clarity on the movements of the storm. Thank you, Neil. When we come back, we'll turn to our main topic for tonight, the controversy over making birth control devices available in public schools.
This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Your days go by fast, your work never seems to end.
That's why we stand behind Whirlpool appliances with Cool Line telephone service to help with questions, our do-it-yourself repair manuals, and our national network of franchise tech care service outlets. Whirlpool, quality appliances.
We're making your world a little easier. Whirlpool makes it easier for you. Whirlpool.
I'm J.A.
J.B.
J.C.
Oh, you're related.
We're in oil.
We need a big computer. The new NCR PC6 can store 40 megabytes.
We need mega gobbles.
This'll gobble. This'll store the history of Texas, and then some. You surprised?
Nope. NCR's big in computers. We'll take 10.
Yahoo!
We don't do that anymore.
Yippee.
A better computer. It's exactly what you'd expect from NCR.
Your nearby Dodge dealers are running out of room, so we're offering you 7.5% financing or up to $1,500 cash back on selected 85 Dodge cars and pickups. Your buyer's best deal on Aries, Omnis, Chargers, on full-size Ram Tough pickups, Lancers, and Daytonas, including the one you want.
See your Treasure Valley Dodge dealers.
Dick Dahlgren decided to build his own houseboat.
It was about a 4.5-year decision, looking at houseboats, research and writing on houseboats, thinking and living houseboats. Well, the bank was great. I'd been with them for about 8 or 9 years anyway. They set it up to get parts and equipment. We got 12,500 pounds of steel. Now it's all molded, welded, contoured, and built.
Come on in to Idaho First and bring us your dreams.
I sure hope it floats.
Thursday on 2020, AIDS in the Heartland. Geraldo Rivera looks at where this epidemic is spreading and what it means to the average American.
Watch 2020, Thursday.
It is not an easy issue. Everyone agrees that there are too many unwanted teenage pregnancies. But he is trying to be practical about it by making birth control devices available in schools. Really going to come to grips with the problem? Or is it going to send another message, telling teenagers, in effect, that sexual promiscuity is okay? Those questions, as Jack Smith tells us, have become the focus of a major controversy in Chicago.
Challenge these kids to truly be the best they can. Teach them and believe in it.
Thank you.
There was a debate today at the Chicago School Board.
I say, give it a chance. What do you have to lose? Give these people a chance.
Keep it out of the schools. It does not belong in the schools, and I don't want to see this the start of something new.
But where were you people when we needed you? Where were you people when we was in school doing what we was doing?
And the debate wasn't about teacher salaries or the curriculum, but about this school, DuSable High in Chicago's Black South Side. 3 months ago, it became the first public school here in Chicago to open a health clinic, which, among other things, dispenses free contraceptives to students on demand.
Why is DuSable funding fornication?
And that's touched off a bitter debate between supporters and right-to-life groups.
The birth control goes through. The birth control goes through.
The clinic was the brainchild of several Chicago foundations concerned about the city's high teenage birth rate. They and the state split the cost. The city pays nothing. The clinic provides free health care to students from an area where there's little of it. Only a quarter of the visits so far have involved birth control. But that's what's controversial.
A child should have contraceptives given by the school? Why, what is the purpose of the school? It certainly isn't that.
If they see this is so immoral, then let them come forward and donate funds like this foundation has, set up a facilities for these babies, then we'll be, you know, like I said, we'll welcome them.
It is 6 miles and a whole world away from the skyscrapers of downtown Chicago to the housing projects where most of DuSable's students live. The area is poor, and officials estimate nearly a third of the school's female students gave birth to babies last year. Most births are unintended.
I probably would have went around there and got me some birth control, and she wouldn't have been here.
You would have used it?
Right. I'm using them now.
This area has an infant mortality that's 250% greater than the national average. Part of that is a reflection of the high teen pregnancy rate,
which is 6 times the national average.
Their lives are being wasted by dropping out, and that's why this may not be the best way, but I think it's a better way for these students than having no education at all.
But critics say the clinic is making the problem worse.
It's saying to the students, not only is it acceptable, but it's condoned, and we're going to help you out. I think you're going to increase promiscuity.
It promotes a child committing fornication.
I don't think it's causing the students here to continue on having sex. They're going to do it any way it goes, no matter what.
Sexuality
was here when we came and is going to be here when we're gone. And
most of the students we spoke to support the clinic, and at least 70% of the parents have already signed the consent forms needed for students to visit the clinic.
One of the criteria for selecting a school in Chicago to have a clinic was that there was widespread and solid community support for it.
In fact, supporters say the debate only began after the Chicago Sun-Times began editorializing against the clinic a mere week and a half ago.
The controversy only came after the publicity, and that only arose from people who were not part of this community at all.
A full-page story on why DuSable parents and kids support free pills.
Joe Scheidler's pro-life hotline, for instance, picked up the issue just last week, and he's from the white northwest side of Chicago.
I'm not an outsider. I belong to this city. These are my tax dollars that pay. That community, they don't have 100% in that community. We talk to students. We talk to people there that are opposed to this program.
Pastor Crawford, who isn't from the DuSable area either, agreed. But at today's school board meeting, almost all those who criticized the clinic were white and members of Right to Life groups. And almost all who spoke up for the clinic were black and from the neighborhood it serves. And what did the school board do? Well, like all boards, it avoided conflict and referred the matter to further study. And this isn't just a local Chicago issue any more than teenage pregnancy is. There are now some 30 clinics nationwide that dispense or prescribe birth control devices in high schools. And already another one is planned here. This is Jack Smith for Nightline in Chicago.
When we come back, we'll talk live with Dr. Doris McCulley, who's in charge of the health clinic, which is dispensing birth control devices to students at that Chicago high school. With Faye Wattleton, president of the Planned Parenthood Federation, which supports the program, and with Gary Curran, spokesman for an anti-abortion lobbying group that opposes it.
It's possible, you know. It's possible to still become too dependent on energy from other countries. But that energy can be taken away. To guard against the possibility of overdependence on energy imports, America makes electricity from energy resources found here at home, like coal and nuclear energy. And we all try to use all our energy sources efficiently. Homegrown energy. That's energy America can count on.
Takes practice to frost a Pepperidge Farm layer cake. They're swirled with a spoon, then smoothed by hand. Of course, first, they're baked with rich things like genuine cocoa or luscious coconut, then frozen to stay extra fresh. You see, Pepperidge Farm still remembers simple things make better cakes.
Come on in.
Race you.
Have you looked at Allstate car insurance rates lately? No. They may be lower than you think.
They are low.
Compare Allstate rates for big cars and small cars, even 2 cars.
Bring your policy into Allstate and compare. See how low our rates really are.
Wow, they're low.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Yes.
Time for your 10:30 meeting.
What? It can't be. It's only
10:29.
10:29.
Introducing KIVI Cream Shoe Polish. The first shoe polish created specifically for the office. It's fast, it's easy, it's neat. And it'll give you a genuine paste wax shine in no time, which is what you usually have.
They're waiting.
I'm ready.
New KIVI Cream Shoe Polish. The office polish. Available in 6 colors.
Sometimes it isn't so easy to do what's good for you, like get enough exercise.
4, 3,
or lose a few pounds. But here's something easy and good for you. Switch to Safola, the margarine that's better for you. Even better than the leading corn oil margarines. Safola is made from pure safflower oil, which is lower in saturated fats.
And Safola tastes better.
Safola, the better tasting margarine that's better for you.
Joining us live now in our Chicago bureau is Dr. Doris McCulley, Medical Director of Provident Medical Center in Chicago, and of the clinic at DuSable High School that is dispensing birth control devices to students. In our New York studios, Faye Wattleton, President of the Planned Parenthood Federation, And here in our Washington Bureau, Gary Curran, Director of Government Affairs for the Committee to Protect the Family, which Mr. Curran